Hi guys, Peter Finch here and welcome down to the Quest Golf Academy, and we are going to be looking at this golf ball today. So this is the new Titleist AVX. This ball has been brought out to sit alongside the Pro V and the Pro V1X as a lower spinning alternative. Now what I've done is I've been testing this for over a month now, just trying to get to grips with how different it feels to what I'm currently using, the Taylormade TP5. And this video is all about whether it stands a chance of actually going into my bag and replacing the TP5. But first of all, what we're going to do is go back to Glen Eagles, where I actually started testing this golf ball out, and just talk you through my first impressions before reconvening here and going through a little bit more of a detailed analysis.
Right guys, welcome down to an absolutely beautiful Glen Eagles. It's a little bit grey this morning, but it just looks so dramatic. Just check out that backdrop there. I mean, that is amazing. I've got the balls through and I've got loads of information on them as well, but what I've done is I've basically put that in my bag and I've not looked at it. So the plan is to get out on the course, film, play, see what the ball is like, give you my first impressions, and then actually go through the documentation that they've given us, the press release, and actually see how it relates to that. Couple holes in and so far 1 under. Best ball ever. so I'll have to see how it goes from here. First initial feelings of the ball, surprisingly good around the greens, because I knew it was a low spinning ball. I've known that just from what people have told me and all the rest of it, but yeah, around the green, surprisingly soft, and actually getting quite a lot of reaction on my chip shots, which was unexpected, but it's predictable. So got to halfway round, and I have to say, still playing with the same ball, and there's only a very, very small amount of marks actually appearing, but I don't know, the cover feels strange. This may be a slightly strange thing to say because it is a premium ball, but the cover doesn't feel like a premium cover. It feels a little bit cheaper, but when you actually strike it, it doesn't feel like a cheaper ball or less a performance ball, if that makes sense. I hope I'm coming across okay. I don't want to sound like a bit of a ball snob. The dimple pattern on this as well definitely looks different.
So like I said, I started testing this ball at Glen Eagles, and then I carried on testing it all the way through the Manchester Open, which was last week. Open qualifying, which was on Monday, I used the TP5. I wasn't fully confident in what that ball was doing as far as distances were concerned, the AVX, to put it straight into play in the biggest competition of the year for me. So what I did is I went back to the TP5, which I was more consistent with as far as what I knew my distances were, because I've been using that ball for a long time. But now I'm going to have that time to do this little bit more testing and actually analyze a little bit more in detail what my distances are with the AVX. This is what's going to basically come down to deciding if that's going in the bag or not, because at the end of the day, both these golf balls are awesome. It's as simple as that. TP5 and the AVX, they're both great, and there's not probably too much to split them. But that's what getting the data together is all about, you know, seeing if there will be a difference, seeing if it will go in the bag. Now, I've deliberately stayed away from actually reading any of the gumph on the packet that was sent through, but when you actually read through, it does hold true to what I've been seeing on the course. So they're talking about this cover. So this is a new cover, elastomer, and it is different in its feel. You know, it doesn't feel, I would say, like a premium ball straight away. And that was one of the big surprises, because it felt light, it felt like it should be quite firm. But then when you actually started playing short game shots with it, it actually felt really soft. So there's a little bit of a mind boggler on that. They're talking about a unique aerodynamic design, missed that word there, delivers optimal and consistent flight on all shots. So yeah, visually again, it does look different. And if that is what is causing the difference in the ball flight, if it's how the core makeup and the high flex casting layer is made up, maybe that's that difference. But there is absolutely no doubt that off the driver, this is a low spinning golf ball. Now, how this is actually received by customers, we're gonna have to wait and see, because Titleist did drop the ball a little bit, in my opinion, when they brought out the new Pro V, the Pro V1X. The Pro V1X spins more, goes higher than the Pro V, which spins less and goes lower. Now, for decades, literally decades, people have known that the Pro V1 is the highest spinning softer ball, and the Pro VX is the lowest spinning, goes further ball. They tried to switch that around, or they did it by mistake, whichever way. So how this comes along and then sits within that package of premium ball offerings, we'll have to wait and see. If you were to twist my arm and say, which ball would you go for out of the Pro V1, the Pro VX, and the AVX, it would be the AVX now. So what I'm going to do now is start testing these balls out. I'm going to be using GC Quad, just testing the data. I need to pull the simulator across because, well, you know what, I don't want to be losing loads of these balls out on the driving range. Pretty simply, we'll reconvene. Okay, not going to talk too much through this bit. I've got the sim set up, so I'm going to be hitting TP5s, I'm going to be hitting the AVXs, I'm going to hit iron shots, wedge shots, driver shots, mid-iron, short irons, driving iron shots, everything. Collate all the data together and then just try and see if there's any patterns which compare the TP5 to the AVX and what is going to be the best going forward. So, let's get it. Okay, 8 iron, TP5 back into play. Okay, back from the driving range, and let's have a look through the data. Now, I hit 5 shots with each of the clubs, but what I've done is I've cut that down to 3. So these are the 3 best strikes from the actual selection of shots. So what I did, I hit 5 shots with the driver, 5 shots with a driving iron, 5 shots with a 5 iron, 5 shots with an 8 iron, and then 5 shots with a wedge as well. So I'll start with the driver, and we'll start with the TP5. Now, I didn't hit the driver great today, it must be admitted. I just wasn't quite striking it fully central how I wanted to. But it gives quite a good example on what I should be able to see going forward, because you can see here my main concern really is launch and spin as far as this test is concerned. And you can see here carry 265, 263, 263 with the TP5 with a spin of 2156, 2464 and 2771. You can see my ball speed is normally higher than that. It is a little bit low, as I've said, because of the dodgy strikes all throughout the test with my driver. But overall, that is a distance win to the AVX. Yes, it wasn't absolutely ideal as far as strike was concerned, but that gives me a good steer on what I've been seeing on the course as well. Now remember, for me and for my game, that's what all these tests are about, I spin the ball a lot with my driver. So to see a ball spin less with the driver, for me, is beneficial. That might not be the case for you guys. You might need something higher spinning. So please bear that in mind. So this is one thing I was quite keen to see, is what my wedge swing would be like and what my distance numbers and spin numbers would be like with my wedges. Now, I was trying to pitch these shots in and around 80 yards. It was just a little 54-degree wedge for me. And you can see the spin rates between the TP5 and the AVX actually very, very similar. Now, I was expecting the TP5 to spin a little bit more, and it did by like 20 revs or whatever it was per minute, but literally nothing to split them. Now, this is an interesting one for me. So this is the 5 iron, the comparison between these two. Now you can see distance-wise and overall there is a slight advantage to the AVX. Backspin-wise, the TP5 spinning more, so just under 200 revs a minute higher than the AVX. So again, everything what I would expect to see happen within these data sets, it is what I'm seeing. And that for me, I think is a positive as far as where I want to go with my selection and with my ball. So overall, the AVX is probably just about the longer ball, but we're talking by nothing really. It spins just as much around the greens as the TP5, which actually looking at the data is a good reaffirmment for me, my belief that actually this isn't a case that if I do go with the AVX, I'm just going to have to sacrifice control around the greens. That doesn't seem to be the case. And the real kicker for me is it is a lower spinning ball. So for now, out of those two balls, the TP5 and the AVX, very, very little to split them, but I would probably just about go with the AVX because it does a little bit more about what I want it to. But I think if I use the AVX or the TP5 going forward, I don't think there'd be a massive amount of difference between them, maybe just these small gains, and that's what I'm looking for. But have you tried this ball yet? Have you gone with the AVX? Have you given it a go? Is it something that you've seen as far as the low spin? You know, have you seen that on the golf course? Is low spin something that you're looking for? Because if it's not, then yeah, don't go with this ball. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like and follow me on my other social media platforms as well, which are all linked in the description below. Make sure you comment, let me know what you think below. And as always, I will see you down here next time.